Now that the dust has kind of settled on the Justin Fields trade, I'm going to tell you why this was an absolute win for Ryan Poles, not necessarily the Bears, but Ryan Poles, and ultimately why we should put more trust in him. I put it to you this way: Ryan Poles was given a very difficult decision. He wanted to get let's just say, the best compensation if he was going to trade Justin Fields, and it seems as if he absolutely explored that opportunity. But he did something very unique. I don't think many people are ready for. I know many fans are already trying to ride, but this is something I think is very valuable when having a GM, especially one who was very conscious of the situation and shows to be a man of his word. I'll take you back to the ultimate phrase that everyone keeps using against Justin fans, Caleb fans, whoever the new QB is. Ryan Poles said he was going to do right by Justin. Why can't that mean that he was going to keep him? This, that, and the other. Well, now we know that ultimately it means that he was going to try to put him in a favorable situation. And this ultimately is something that many GMs would not consider. I'll take you to Mac Jones, friend. The Patriots did him no favor. They literally traded him to Jacksonville. But they know the quarterback that was in his draft class, another young QB that he was going to have to compete with. The chances of him starting in Jacksonville at all, unless Trevor Lawrence gets injured, are slim to none. There's no development realistically that I think he's going to get in that situation. It's going to be one of those things where he may be, hey, how do I find a way back to starting line? Because he had a great rookie season, but then from there was very much a lot to desire. But the situation around Mac Jones was something that was very, very disastrous. All admitted, many other analysts admitted, we know what it was. You can't sit there and do. That's exactly what they did. They ruined that kid's. Ryan Poles didn't do that. In fact, the reports say that Ryan Poles had the opportunity to have another trade deal, another trade package to get more compensation, to actually be in a more favorable situation from a team perspective. And he chose to go the route that not only put Justin in a situation where he could actually develop, that he had a fighting chance for a starting opportunity. And yes, it came at a cost. 6th round of 4th if he starts 51% next year. Now that's the bad, right? The good is, again, Ryan Poles proved to be a man of word because he could have, again, taken the other. But because he felt the same way that many of us have felt about Justin Fields, because he actually saw the situation and what it was, again, I've said this many times. I didn't sit there and have a genius moment or anything like that. I did the research and I looked at GMs that were in similar situations because there's no absolutes. People want absolutes, and that's don't have any out. There's no exact situation as. But I looked at something similar and looked at the pattern and looked at what happens. And most GMs choose to do exactly what Ryan Poles did. He didn't draft Justin. He inherited Justin. He tried to give Justin a situation while he had to rebuild the team, tear it down and rebuild. And if Justin showed him a little more, guess what? He probably would have been here. But it didn't happen. And on both fronts, the Bears, Ryan Poles, had to do what he had to do, and that ultimately created a very negative situation for Justin Fields, victim of circumstance. And Justin didn't shine through it, which a lot of young QBs are forced to do. Guess what? Most number one picks go to really bad teams, and they're forced to sit there and play in really bad situations, and we're expecting them to look really good. I'm sorry, Justin Fields was in that situation, and it didn't work. And you know what? Ryan Poles actually sat there, accountability for it, and did something again that most people wouldn't do. He put Justin. And you have to thank him for that. You have to actually praise him for it. And most importantly, you have to look at the situation. Courtney Crowland reports that there were, again, many offers, and they actually went and talked to Justin's team, and really ironed it out with them. They didn't just say, oh, this is what we're going to do. Thank you for your service. They really talked it out with him to give him the best opportunity. Tell me you know many GMs that would have did. Guess what? It's a lot of young QBs that got traded this season, or this offseason. I don't know many GMs that did that. I'm only hearing about one. Maybe it's because we're closest to it, but still, I'm only hearing one. If you all know a different one, put it in the chat. But to me, that just goes to tell me that, hey, Ryan Poles is a stand-up dude. And that matters in this. Ryan Poles is a stand-up dude. He can't do anything about the fact that unfortunately Justin didn't match his timeline. And you shouldn't sit there and smoke him for. But you know what he can do? Be a man of his word and say, hey, at least try to take care. Develop, have a chance to not be a career backup because you're not a career. Justin Fields going to the Steelers, if you are a real Justin Fields fan, him going to the Steelers is one of the best things that could have happened outside of potentially. Got to give credit for that. If we stayed, but then Ryan Poles would be putting a lot on the line, and that doesn't. If I have to choose me over you, I'm going to choose me. So again, you have to take that for what it is. But outside of that, putting him in the Steelers situation versus anything else, guess what? That gives him a QB that's very similar to him, mobile, throw on the run, all those things. Gives him an opportunity to be in a culture that can absolutely embrace him. Mike Tomlin has already spoken highly of him. Puts him in a situation where he could even compete for that job sooner rather than later. It was the best thing that could have happened for Justin. Given the situation, given the trading being what was going to happen, it was the best opportunity for Justin Fields. I love that Ryan Poles took care of him. That I don't care about the pick. Okay, I care about the pick. But I care more about the person. I care more about Justin the person and how he was impacted by the situation. Because guess what? There's other young QBs who got traded. They won't get a chance, a snowball's chance to actually compete. You really think that Mac Jones is going to start over Trevor Lawrence? Two young QBs in that locker room going neck and neck. One could probably say, hey, I had a better season than you at one point. Rookie season, Mac Jones. Hey, that's toxic. That's the opportunity for toxicity to actually develop in that locker room. Ryan Poles didn't put him in that. He didn't put him in a situation where there's another young QB that's absolutely. He could have traded him to the Eagles. The Eagles were reported to have interest in Justin Fields. He could have traded him to the Eagles. We probably got better compensation. Do you honestly think that they're going to move away from Jalen Hurts right now? Another young QB they just spent a lot of money on? No. Would I've loved Justin to have the opportunity to fight it out? Sure. But they already paid that. That man's starting. That's the business of paid you. Going out there. Happens in every sport nearly. Ryan Poles didn't send him. So while you may hate the trade, and that's fair, you may not have liked to see Justin leave. Again, fair. Now that we can actually accept the fact that that was what's going to happen in the first place, guess what? Appreciate the fact that Ryan Poles did the best he could. That is more about his character. It's more about him as a person than anything else. Many GMs would have said, kick rock. That's why we should trust. Been a man of his word. Everybody else has been trying to misinterpret, put their own things into it, this, that, and the other. Even us on the breeze, we've only speculated. But when it comes to what he actually said and how he actually did it, he lived up to it. He was a man of it. And that's something that in the era, in the space where people get told 1 week, hey, I'm not trading you, and they get shipped out the next, this is commendable. We should applaud that. Because he's not only is Ryan Poles showing that he's a him by the way that he's handled this masterfully. Again, may not be the quarterback that some of you all wanted. You all may feel like he didn't like Justin didn't get the best shot. Cool, that's fair. But when you remove that emotion and you look at what's actually happening and developing, the Bears are in the best spot we've been in almost ever. That was what, 4? Ryan Poles is done. Shout out to Justin Fields for being very the consummate professional. He's actually shown that he is a good young man, has a good head on his shoulder. You didn't hear anything come out of his camp, anything disparaging. He didn't sit there and blast anyone online. He didn't pull what's that man's name who was sitting there doing Instagram lives while he was sitting there. Nah, he didn't do any of that stuff. He handled it right. And so from that aspect, should apply. But I want to hear your thoughts. But let's love whether say, I've gotten a lot of hate for these. By the way, the person who said, I hope your brakes fail, the clown. Whether it's love, whether it's hate, though, put it in the chat. I'll be in there with you to catch the Daily Show. The Daily Show is going to be on Patreon. Unfortunately, YouTube has actually sat there and demonetized this particular channel. We've done this for the love of you all. We did this so you all can have this content, be with us, have this community. And YouTube said, hey, despite all your hard work, hey, we see some discrepancies here. And instead of telling us what we did, helping us through it, letting us correct it, they said, nope, not going to tell you what you did. You just did something. No strikes, no nothing. Boom, you don't get paid for this. So guess what? Like Pat said, some of us make a living off of it. To do everything that we're trying to do for the breeze requires money. So guess what? You've been rocking with us. Please join us over there to Patreon. The only way we're building out what we're trying to build out for the city of Chicago and everything like that. Please, we would love your support over there. For those who can't, we understand. For those who do, please, thank you so much. If at the very least, if you can't support, petition YouTube to be better. Because YouTube has to be better. That's absolute. It's not cool whatsoever. You're going to sit there and make those type of moves. At least let us know what you didn't do that. It's trash. But till next time, you all. Daily Show is going to be a Patreon. It's going to be at 6. Same time, same place as always as on Monday. Hopefully, we catch you all there the next time.